Sitting up here live in two different places. There she is. There she goes. Hello.
Okay.
All right. Everybody, it's Beatbox, episode 18. We're legal now. Aw, shit. We're a week away from my birthday.
We're episode 20 because we had two unofficially on Instagram when we weren't there with each other.
Well, fuck me. I feel like that's like, is it beat or is it box if it's like only half of us? You know what I'm saying?
Well, it was for sure beat when you were hosting.
Shit. What was Picante Jenny and Rizzy and Pipeswell not sexy enough for you?
I didn't watch. I'm sorry.
I feel like, because I feel like, thank you, Dom as a bot. Because I feel like motherfucking that was that was a blueprint for the upcoming idea series I got on the pipeline soon for 2024. Shh.
We're here.
I love watching. I love leaking shit anyway. I might as well just say it, but I won't.
Tell us.
That's what
it's a short amount of viewers today, so you can tell them because there's only like 5 people right now.
I've been wanting to hatch this idea for another part of the Palmverse podcast network called Chillin' with Dylan. Just mix up the hosts, mix up the personalities. Some from the thickness protection program, some from Palm, some personal friends of mine. Just a panel of different personalities.
Love that.
That happened to all be thickness protection program folks, but something that's not interview based and up to 4 players.
Definitely. So how much longer do we give the kids to get here before we get into the meat and potatoes today?
Do you want to send this live to 50 people?
Sure.
Keep this party going.
Yep. We got lots of good music we're talking about this week.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Sound like the Kool-Aid man.
It's all quiet.
Yeah, we're gonna send it to some more people. Get you guys, kind of aware of what we're doing. You already were aware of what we're doing. You just may have not seen us do it.
Or you watched us at the beginning and you haven't watched us since.
Yeah. We put the if in technical difficulties. Oh.
Today's a piss poor example too. Okay.
I'm cracking mad corny jokes today.
I sent it to 20.
All right, that'll do.
Right. We got 7. Let's do this.
All right. And anyway, guys, welcome to Beatbox. This is your favorite weekly podcast talking about new music and mental health. I'm your boy Chillin' Dylan, Jesus of SoundCloud, Black Tom Anderson, your favorite rapper still owes me money, and now I am the thick girl's therapist.
That's my new favorite. Where did that come from?
It's just, woke up literally this morning. I'm like, I just thought, Jaden Venus and I had a conversation about it a little while ago. What up, Crazy Underground? I see you. Jaden Venus and I were having a conversation a while back just about all these relationships that have been cultivated in this year and a half running thickness protection program. And then she's like, damn, you're like all of our therapists. And then the other night, I'm sitting back with a friend watching like old episodes, and I'm like, damn, just to think of how many of these have turned into like interesting relationships and like really cool friendships. Honestly, it's just like been a shoulder back and forth between so many of the guests. It's like,
right. Yeah, I love that. That's what makes what you do
never
special.
Would have fathomed this. Never. But I believe God called me as a vessel to be a shoulder to this community, and that's what we're here to do.
Well, fucking men, and I'm Foxy Box, the leftovers you brought home, put in the fridge, and got pissed that your roommate ate before you noticed them.
Your title game is impeccable, and you're getting better and better every week.
So, anyway, don't eat your roommate's leftovers.
Yeah.
So let's start our week off. We're gonna do kind of like a freestyle this week for the mental health check-in because we be going through it around here on Beatbox, and I know a lot of people are going through it. So, we just want to kind of have like a free flow with it and just vent. Life stress, you guys.
Sorry,
What the
YouTube.
fuck? Things are
Yep.
so expensive. It is like scary at
Yeah.
this point. I mean, I know you guys hear my anarchist speak every week where I'm like, when are we gonna overthrow this shit? But
Yeah. I literally told my
when?
boss I'm working from home for the rest of the week, and part of that is just gas is just too fucking expensive.
Yeah, when? When is enough, guys?
Yeah.
Because I'm ready. So, yeah, that's definitely a big thing that's going on right now. I actually, I'm making really good money doing what I do, but I don't have much to show for it at the end of the day. And with my relentless landlords just fucking with me nonstop, I've gone under in my rental payment. I owe them some money. So they just served me papers yesterday.
Yikes.
Yay!
And the crazy
So
plot twist with this is that you once upon a time you were the property
I'm
manager.
I managed this motherfucker, and then
That
I
same
quit.
property you're currently living at.
Yes, and then I quit this industry. Well, I mean, they kinda kickstarted that
Yeah.
for me, but I left
Uh
the industry and now I'm doing this. So,
wow. Yeah, it's crazy how life works, but I have no doubt in my mind that you're gonna weather the storm and get back on your feet. Just considering the adversity you've been through in the couple months, of the change in your relationship to, now there's just more big girl panties you gotta wear. So, it sucks to add one more thing, but like, yeah,
yeah, and, then you got also when you're a parent and your kid's dealing with it and you're just like, how do I be there for him in the way that I need to
yeah,
be there for him when I can barely be here for me and I'm struggling and I need to put that aside to be there for him? And you guys, it's just a lot. It's a lot. And so, like, it's like I know that everybody that I love has so much on their plates right now. And it's just how do we balance this shit?
right. Are
So
you comfortable talking about like what happened with your son?
I guess at this point everybody is like knows me well enough by now. So I was a teen mom and my mom and I raised my son together. So, our dynamic is non-traditional. We don't live together, but we basically co-parent. He's where he needs to be, and so it's hard because he needs me as his mom, but also as his Kelsey. And it's hard for me to balance like he respects me as somebody that he knows understands him, but he also needs to like see that I am his, like, biological mom at the end of the day, and that I can't always be like that, like, "Hey, like, you can be completely you," and I want him to be, but it's like, when right now he's struggling so bad with school, and he's, like, begging for the right help and everybody's trying and failing and he's like it's not me it's everybody else and there's just like so little accountability but you don't want to like go hard on him you want to be understanding and it's just really a lot, you guys. Being a parent is hard, and I don't know that many people that are in a situation like me, let alone people with kids that are teenagers. Like, God, what do we do? And so, he's 16, and my mom's like, maybe we should just start prepping him for GED. And it's like, but like the non-traditional school system is failing this kid that needs it, and it's just hard. It's just a sign of the times. It's like nothing's working for anybody. For
Yeah,
anybody. Our kids are suffering too because it's just we all just have no guidance anymore.
yeah. I really feel like it's a upside down world that we are in. But I think if you know, as much as this kind of sounds maybe corny, as much as you got to just put your faith in God, and you just got to like gather your community to come around your cause. And even if your cause is your kid, I'm sure there's resources out there, and there's so many people who do care.
Yeah. Yeah, and for me, it's less the resources and more of like, fuck, how do I balance my fucky life and elevate him into it?
Yeah,
Because he needs to physically be here, with me at this point. He needs to be here so that I can get him through school 5 days a
yeah.
week.
And the thing that I always kind of notice with your situation is like you're a young woman raising a young man. Like you're still figuring out life for yourself.
Well, I'm a young woman raising a young man with an old woman who had a hard time raising
Yeah.
me. And so
Yeah.
it's really, really like so layered, complicated, because she notoriously, struggles with us when we're teenagers. And you know what? My mom's neurodivergent just like I am. And we're trying to figure this out. And I think that, she's the perfect fucking teammate on this. And she tags me in the way that I need to be tagged in. We're gonna figure this out. But
That's
God,
good.
my situation is so complicated, but shouts out to my mom because God,
Yeah.
she's like so tough and so cool and so strong for everything that she's done for that boy. And I just got to be her right teammate too. So,
Absolutely, you do. And shout
so
out to my
yeah.
mom too, because in the wake of my father passing, a lot of you guys have been asking, "How's my mom doing?" As well as, of course, how am I doing? But how's my mom doing? We're both back at work now. This is her first full week back, and the love and support she's gotten from that community has been tremendous. So props to everyone at her job, which is also happens to be my old elementary school. um so that's been really good, but it's still there's still challenges that await for us. That we just selected a venue for my dad's celebration of life. We just picked out a date, but some of I feel like I'm continuing to do the right things and go to work and answer my phone when people call to check on me and go have fun. It honestly felt like I've just been living my best life. Like, I've hung out with friends almost every day in the last he's been gone. As of tomorrow, it's been 2 weeks,
Hmm.
and it felt like many of these days I've hung out with friends every single day. And at some point it's like I feel like I'm doing good. This is gonna
Yeah.
sound weird, but I feel like I'm doing good. And on the other side, I'm like, holy fuck, my dad died.
It doesn't feel weird to me that you're doing good. I'm seeing you and you seem like you're doing better than you have since I've known you. And it's
Yeah.
not a bad thing that you're finding yourself again during the grieving process. I think this is what your dad would want.
Yes.
You went through, listen, cancer is really fucking awful. Pancreatic cancer, the worst. Okay,
Yeah.
Dylan. You have been through a lot with your dad, okay? And so you have this time to breathe, and it's hard kind of to step back and be like,
Yeah.
fuck, like it's gonna be okay because it feels like you're not in the right for being okay, you know? It's complicated, but
Yeah.
you're doing so good and all
Thank
of
you.
us see it. You're fucking happy.
Yes. It's
Yeah.
hard to believe. And I appreciate that, Epic Holly. But yeah, part of this is like, even as the content creator who's now working full time in my actual industry. Woo! But yeah, as still wanting to wear that content creator hat, still am, but it's like in the accurate doses. Thickness protection program. I miss you. You miss me. But check it out, man. It's just what is holding me back is just like the idea and the notion of I can count on my hands how many people who I've interviewed and for that podcast who like reached out with condolences messages. And it's just in my I want to have a conversation with Finney about this. I don't know when, but he was one of them who reached out. Shout out to him. In my mind, it just kind of feels like all these people who I sit up here and interview and ask all the questions and try to be all interested in. And I am. I wouldn't interview anybody who I'm not interested in. But like it just fucking feels like nobody would get. Then I got to sit up there and edit for hours and shit. These people don't give a fuck about me. They fucking and getting paid, man. People don't give a fuck about you. Because at the end of the day, it's like when I feel like I do TPP, I feel like that's playing a character, you know? And it's like the crowd that services is not there for me. They're there for the guest. And it's almost like this is my rightfully time to almost be selfish or be focused on family.
Right. And
um
it is.
yeah, and
It
it
is.
is. So I do want to come back because it's like I look at that page and I'm still like, part of me's like I shouldn't even be on fucking social media right now, but like I do look at that page and I'm like, yo, I'm make TPP again, because it's like no disrespect, but it's like a collab for it's like you put out beatbox stuff, you're putting out like palm stuff over there. It's like reshare palm stuff. Is like just to be on that side of the room is like I'm not feeling it. Is
And
what.
I think that there's a lot of things that have led to you feeling that way.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. You're right.
and I think that you need to give yourself time, and you have enough projects with what you're focused on right now that you know that that's there at the end of the day. The porn industry is not going anywhere, Dylan.
Oh no, no, no. Most definitely.
But it'll be
And again,
new faces and new places to be next time you tap
yeah.
in.
And again, I don't even feel like that's my industry. I just feel like I do something that's with people in that industry. I feel like,
Right.
my, and no disrespect to anybody in that, but it's just like, I feel like this elevates them because then this is a platform where you are allowed to candidly speak without being sexualized.
Right, right. It
Yeah.
totally is. And that's what makes it great.
Yeah.
But give yourself grace. I always say it, give yourself grace. You
Yeah.
got to give yourself
You said that,
time.
you said that before too.
So
Yeah.
that's where you're at. And if anybody in the class wants to talk about anything mental health wise, we'll give you a minute to sound off in the comments
Yeah.
and we can talk. I saw that Logan had commented, and shout out to Logan, that they really were appreciative of how authentic you've been about your grieving process and how people usually keep it like hush hush, but we've been really talking about it. You've been really open about your experience. And so that's appreciated by our viewers, which is
Appreciate it.
wonderful.
Thank you, Logan. Yeah, yeah, we want to keep it 100 on Beatbox, and
Definitely.
we definitely want to move forward with some. Let's get into some hip hop news now. In my notes, I do not have the hip hop history in front of me, but
I'll try to remember from my noggin.
okay.
So, you want to
Well,
just start with the news?
yeah, let's kick it off with some news. Blueface hit with 3 years probation for the October 2022 shooting in Vegas. Gesundheit.
Sorry.
Now, crazy thing about this is that the victim who was grazed by a bullet in the shooting Blueface was involved with out there in Vegas, he took a selfie of himself in court and then put it on his story and called Blueface a bitch ass nigga. And then Blueface just can't stay out of the news because he just had a baby by Krishan Rock, and then Krishan's doing all this ratchet shit, and then doesn't want him. They they're not together anymore. It's just messy and complicated. I actually tried to
Right.
avoid like covering Blueface stuff
That's
just
so
because it's
funny
so
because you said,
saturated.
okay, that's so funny that you say that because that shit is in the news when I write like the little agenda every fucking week. He's always in there. I can't go on to Twitter and I don't know who the fuck him, or how do you say Chris Sean?
Krishan,
Krishan, I did not know who they were, and all I'm seeing is like a bunch of child neglect, and that's all I'm
yeah.
seeing is like, what the fuck? Why is this all being broadcasted like this? Like, why are there people that are displaced from, like their?
So if Bust Down Tatiana gets
Oh, that's who
does
that
any,
is.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, baby, out of touch, shot it.
No,
All
I'm
right.
not though because I'm in touch because thanks to Beatbox.
Oh, I have my ears to the well, that's me. But okay,
And why would I care about some whack ass rapper? No offense to anybody that likes him. Like, who cares about that guy?
yeah. I mean, he's popping. He has a couple good songs, but he's popping. I met him before, but also he's just like super duper Hollywood. But anyway, if he violates his probation, he's looking at 2 to 5 years in jail.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so he has a attempted murder charge. They tried to get him to plead guilty to in July to lesser charges of battery. But you know what was fucked up, honestly, is that when you watch him in court, it's like, here's this nigga with all the money you want, being a successful black king, and as ghetto and ratchet as he is, he's got it made in the shade, sipping lemonade, and then he's like sitting there at the hand, like behind a fucking punk ass shooting, like, dog, you don't need to be involved with this shit. You need to be getting money and raising your kid, like, and
Right.
that's right where the authorities want you. You the
Right.
young nigga in the room, you sitting there judged by 12 with nothing but old white folks. Like, bruh, like, this is exactly where they want you. You are not supposed to be here, my guy.
It's like almost like an episode of like the Boondocks or something. Like he's
Yeah.
a caricature of like
Exactly.
what the man would want to be
Yeah.
out there as like representation. For
Exactly.
sure.
They trying to take his shine, yo, because you can't just
Damn.
make music and make content and make clothes and run businesses.
Now I feel bad for calling this man a whack ass rapper. He's just a victim of the system.
He just, it's ghetto fabulous. He's just like, can't be Hollywood without some hood,
Yeah.
It's
Well,
just
well, Blueface, I hope you grow up.
yeah, I hope he gets his shit together, man, because that would be sad to see. I'm more like for the children. I'm more like it's sad to see for the children. Okay.
Yeah.
Next story. Sexy Red says she loves Trump. Now, the Pound Town rapper got on this podcast and then said, you know what? At first, she said we didn't like Trump in the hood because he was racist or whatever, but then we was all back when Trump was in, we were getting money, so I fuck with Trump. What do you think about that?
You know I've been fucking rooting for Sexy Red. Why she gotta go be dumb? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like she's like dumb, but like I like that kind of dumb.
Oh,
But now she's being like
listen.
dumb.
At this
Like
point, there's an interesting interview I want to do a reaction to where Charleston White was doing an interview with Say Cheese, and I don't like Charleston White personally, but he had a good point when he was asked about Sexy Red. He was like, "I hate her," and the reason why he hates her is because the image that she's putting in young girls' minds is such a I'm a thought and I'm proud image that like this is not to for somebody who has influence over young people, this is somebody to be really afraid of because girls are gonna look up to her, and this hoe got fucking face tats and looks like a fucking retard. Sorry, oops, I might get canceled for that anyway.
the
Fuck you,
cancel
whatever.
freaking headquarters is pulling up, Dylan. Are you
Woo!
fucking kidding me? Jesus
FCC
Christ.
get TPP,
God.
bitch.
The
Oh
chopper
man,
is
that was bad. That was bad. That was
landing.
bad. That was bad.
So,
Ooh,
but
triggers.
okay,
All right, all right, yeah.
here's what I'm
Anyway,
saying.
anyway,
Here's what
anyway. Long story short, man, it's on this side. On this side. I gotta agree with Charleston White, because he said like, you know what? This is corporate America. She signed to a major corporate America, putting dollars behind this ratchet ass black woman looking like a stereotype, and then she said sitting there talking about, oh, she got an emotional support stack of money, and is like,
you
what
leave her
value
stack
does that have?
alone.
What value does that have, yo? She's just like this is just the stupid chick saying like, "Oh, money is everything." Like,
I like
nah.
her. Okay, so I got a few things to say. Number
Yeah.
one, you can't say what you just said about Blueface and then say that about Sexy Red. Because if we're talking in the terms of what's being elevated right now, isn't she the female equivalent of that?
Let me marinate on that. You know what? No, I can because also
No.
I think Blueface is equally ignorant. I think
Well,
Blueface
that's
is
that's
equally.
what I'm saying. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying is that then if that's what you're saying like, oh, this is being elevated to try to like make these people that are in the rap world look bad, and so then of course like there's going to be a woman on that too, and Sexy Red would be that if that's what we're saying. My thoughts are number one though, Sexy Red girl, listen, if anybody was getting fucking money, it didn't fucking matter who the fucking president was. It never does,
Hmm.
babe. Listen, those stimulus were going out no matter who the fuck handed them out. Like that wasn't Trump wasn't like stimulus for all with the government. Like the president is a talking head. Okay. Second of all, like you can't be like, "Oh, we forgive you for all of this horrible shit that you did, the dog whistles, all of this stuff, the
Yeah.
fucking way that they ramped up fucking white supremacy again in America. It's like kicking a fucking hornet's nest. The way
Yeah.
that Trump ushered in all of this. So to me, it's crazy. But also, she's a black woman. I'm a white woman. She can say how she
Yeah.
feels about something like that. That's not my fucking
Right. I mean,
place.
she's
But
definitely entitled to her opinion, but let me just kick a
exactly.
little observational game. I think that when it comes to black people from the ghetto, which I am not, but she might be, let's assume she is, for black people from the ghetto, it's like, okay, you know what? Yeah, Trump could have set off January 6th and was pleaded guilty, but they view that money talks, bullshit walks. So as long as it didn't happen to you and it didn't affect you and you still got some cheese in your pocket, you're going to be praising whoever you thought gave it to you.
Well, but the thing about it, like I said, though, it didn't matter. The president had nothing to do with it. It was the fucking pandemic. It's not like he was like cash for
Facts.
all, like
Yeah.
if Biden actually wanted to have any substance at this point, he'd be like, "Oh my god, the American people are struggling. We should be cutting checks because of the cost of living or putting a rental cap." Stuff that
Yeah.
actually like fucking is a problem. The stimulus was just a pacifier in the people's fucking mouth to shut them the fuck up during a
I agree.
pandemic.
I agree.
It
Oh
was
yeah, I
it was
agree.
fuel it was fuel to pump the money into this very system that is holding us back, which was who did we all support during the pandemic? Amazon?
You're
Who did we all
absolutely right.
support during this shit?
Well said.
We utilized what was available, at convenience online, which are a part of the problem. We kept pouring into DoorDash, who pours into McDonald's, fucking all of this, you
Yeah.
guys. Like, it's like,
It was
wake
technology
up.
feeding corporations, and the
It's
technology was the corporations.
exactly. So
Just
Trump didn't do
corporations getting rid
shit.
off corporations, and
Yeah, I just don't understand. I don't understand any of it. It's like, anyway, so it really sucks for me though because I liked Big Sexy Red and her fucking
yeah.
glasses and her emotional stack of money.
I will say this though: sexy red music in the car while a woman is driving is so much better than sexy red in the club.
I heard
Because you
I
be trying to get a twerk in the club, and then sexy red comes on, and then bitches want to have a mosh pit.
they want
Like,
to fight.
yeah,
It's like
like sexy red is like the girl's little scrappy, but but I'm yeah, you know how you don't want no problem. That's
yeah.
like Pound Town. I put throw that in the mix with Pound Town, but
Well, I
yeah.
love it. So yeah, Sexy Red girl, like cool. Do your
Another
thing.
another big piece
Speak
of
your mind.
news. Uh, Finally, 27 years later, Tupac suspect Keefe D for is arrested in Las Vegas and then arranged in first court appearance. Now, well, what do I think about that? You know what? It's about time, but honestly, I don't believe in conspiracy theories, but I believe one is probably behind this shit
Us-
because
I
this
don't know
man
much
got a
about it.
well, he's a Crip from Watts, California, and basically long story short, he did a couple DJ Vlad interviews, and basically the FBI used that as evidence to arrest him. I haven't gotten through the DJ Vlad interviews, but he tells a pretty lengthy story of like all his involvement in the streets, all of his involvements with rappers, and how he knew Easy E and Suge Knight. Um, it's very interesting to look into, but I'm more like, you know what? I want to see this all unfold when it's said and done. Because also, I believe they could have taken a. Do I think Virgil hold that thought? Vigil hold that thought. Everybody go follow Pro Vigil, dope producer out of LA. Um, and he's palm tree and a protector. But
We love palms and protectors.
yes, we do. Yeah, peach and palm emojis in the comments, please, everybody. Now, I think that it took so long for them to come to an arrest because they know who did it, and like maybe Pac's team like wanted to continue to sell his likeness. Like, look, they've done movies, they've done TV shows, they've done art exhibits, they got clothing for years.
So do you
Like,
think they purposely didn't say it, left it unsolved because of money?
everybody, of course, because of money. Everybody's in it. It has to be because of money. It has
But
to be.
isn't the nostalgia of Tupac is there whether or not he was, because I don't think I've ever been like heard anybody be like, "Oh, I rock with Tupac because his shit's unsolved." I don't know. Like I
No, it's not
understand
because
that.
I rock with Tupac because his shit's unsolved. It's his shit is unsolved because both parties are in on the money.
Mm.
Yeah. Like the
Okay, okay,
like
Del Gribble. All
his
right.
family and his estate, like his mother, rest in peace, and his mother's gone, right? Don't I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Anyway, his okay, so his labels, they're in on it on one side. Suge Knight's Peoples is probably in on it on the other side. Diddy's
Mhm.
probably in on it somehow. Like everybody's probably getting a piece of like the mystery. Don't think like, people who are making the documentaries, they're getting a check from that, man. You've been sold this story of mystery. And yes, Space Race. Everybody go follow my brother, Matt Brown, Space Race. Excellent DJ and producer out of Pasadena, California. We're going to get to that Oliver Tree review in a second, man. But
Yeah, it's definitely one of our albums this week to go over. I
it's
fucking
definitely one of
love Oliver Tree.
just to sum up the Tupac thing. Kendra Lee Ryan in the house. Hey, interview is on the way. But um, yeah, to sum up the Tupac thing, you know what? We got to see more happen. And I've been so busy today. I didn't. DJ Vlad was getting interviewed by Pierce Morgan actually, and he was asking like about how the police like went to him and then used that information as the testify.
Oh shit, we got somebody going off on some pot
Uh,
conspiracy.
Pac wasn't even in the car. He left after that fight and copped a private plane that was unregistered and is in the Cayman Islands. Not that one again. Now, the next you're going to say that Pac is actually living in Cuba, working in a cigar factory.
And he's rapper.
Yeah.
Isn't there like a rapper that looks like him? We're like, oh, it's him.
I don't
Anyway,
know.
so what
Freddie
else?
Gibbs kind of looks like him. They're both Geminis.
Freddie Gibbs.
Shut the fuck up! Don't disrespect my boy Freddie Gibbs like that.
No, it was the first
I
news
know.
story we
Yeah.
ever talked about.
Freddie Gibbs.
I
My
can't.
God.
It was
All
my
right.
introduction.
Little more news, and I just saw No Jumper post a tweet of this, or an X post. I'm never calling that shit an X post. It's a fucking tweet. Black China is reportedly selling personal items due to financial issues caused by her custody battle with China. What personal items is she selling? Is the
Panties.
question.
Just kidding.
Hmm.
She's probably not because she left sex work and all that stuff. So she's probably getting rid of
Yeah.
like her
Yeah.
purses and her like luxury stuff, I bet.
Yeah.
The first to go. Sucks to suck. I don't feel bad for rich people. Next.
Next.
So hey. Anyways, let's get into real quick. We'll touch on our few hip hop history topics. So I don't have them in front of me. Do you have them in front of you?
Oops, no hip hop history this week. No,
Fuck.
I'm just
Well, wait,
playing.
wait, wait, wait,
It was Idea and Abilities put out
wait.
Firstborn on October 1st. What was the date? Hold up.
Uh,
Hold up. Wait. We can do this.
I'm glad you chose this one because I wanted to specifically talk about idea.
Yeah.
Because the world has no idea.
The
If
world
you guys
has
haven't, if you
October
guys have
1st,
not,
2001.
yeah. So if you guys haven't heard of Idea, he is like he is still considered to be one of the best freestyle artists ever.
Yeah.
And this guy, he was a freestyle battle champ from St. Paul, Minneapolis. And he
Yes.
started this group
Twin
with
Cities.
Abilities, his friend.
Yeah.
They were on Rhymesayers. He passed away October 16th, 2011 or 2010.
Yeah, 2010. I was in high school. Guys,
From
I want you to realize, sorry if I'm interrupting Foxy, but this music is very important to my heart and soul. My parents are from Minneapolis originally. My dad grew up with Prince and Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. So that, he went on to work with them later in life too. And so that era is very important to him. This era of Minneapolis underground hip hop is very important to me because I discovered it through playing Tony Hawk video games.
right, Idea
And,
was on Tony Hawk.
yeah, going to see Idea live in concert and open up for Atmosphere at the Hollywood Palladium, where I'm seeing Oliver Tree in February. Hello. And Run the Jewels next week. Hello. But anyway, yeah, just seeing Idea in concert, and that kid was so fucking talented and taken from us too soon. So
Yeah, rest in peace. So his anniversary of his death, October
yeah.
16th, coming up.
And shout out to the song Big Shots, which was on Firstborn.
And again, if you guys are interested in finding out more about Idea, if you're into hip hop, which I have to think that if you're here, you're into it. Do yourself a favor, rent it. The world has no idea. Such a good documentary. It's actually the
Excellent
documentary
documentary.
that has made me somewhat dislike Slug, and we've kind of discussed that through the weeks that we've spent here on. But I think that Slug was jealous of Idea.
Well, you know what? I think when you got two guys who have like a big brother to little brother relationship, and then the little brother dies, we will never know that pain.
So you spell his name Eyedea.
Yeah.
Eyedea.
Hey.
Idea and Abilities.
Kendra
Um,
Ryan and Vigil are talking back and forth.
love that.
Yeah.
So no, so your friends can definitely hire Palm through Pretty Awesome Lit Music to review their music.
Yeah.
It's a service that is offered around here.
Yeah,
So if
exactly. Here, if you're in music promo or submissions, DM, and we're gonna pin that. Okay.
okay, sweet.
So Don Jace is
So
in the house. Lisa Callie Stoner, I see you. All right.
So we'll just move on. We were both really busy, got a lot going on, so I didn't take my good notes like usual. So jump into the good stuff and let's get into our music reviews because we got a
Let's get
lot of
into
good
our
ones
music
this week.
reviews.
Let's start
Okay.
it off with your Bury the Lead.
Bury the lead or Liddy. I've actually,
Lady,
but
lady.
Liddy. Yeah. That word actually mean I had to look that up, and it means like the opening paragraph.
Okay.
Well, Dessa, also good segue, is also from the Twin Cities, Minnesota. She came from a crew called Doomtree that also had Rhymesayers' POS on their label. Very, very, very talented crew. They came about in the early 2000s, but Dessa has put out many of her own really dope solo albums over the years. And I think this album was great for hip hop standards as well as indie standards, but it's mostly indie because she's doing a lot of singing on there. I thought it was
Yes.
very organic, and the kudos to her for still putting it out on Doomtree. Like that just shows how loyal she is.
Yeah. I was a little surprised when I listened to it. I started with Hurricane Party. I was like, okay, okay, this is very interesting. And then I got to 12 to 1, and my first note that I took was, this is indie as fuck, Dylan.
Yes. Oh yeah, it is indie as fuck, and like proudly. I liked
Yeah.
how on the song Blush, there's that '80s breakdown, and it sounds so pretty pop, and then
Yes.
you
So
know,
a few weeks ago, I had us review a song for my single by Dot Allison.
mhm,
So she has a very much like a Dot Allison vibe, and I'm gonna have to send you some
yeah.
of her older stuff because it was like really crazy to me. I felt like I was in high school listening to some like deep like underground indie.
I'm
Like
just yeah, it's definitely deep underground indie. I'm always a fan of groups, especially when artists from groups go solo, and then when she's
yeah,
like the lone female in the group, it's just super awesome to see
that's
that.
cool.
But
I would
I
love to
feel like
check out the
what?
group.
Why is she needs to be mentioned in the conversations with like the Lana Del Rey's, the Sia's, the not even that pop, but like a Santi Gold, a MIA. Like Dessa needs more props.
Yes. Well, and it feels like though we're kind of at this weird standstill with female music though right now. It's
Right.
like people are afraid to do much different anymore. It's like really it seems like it's really just gutted by just kind of the crude lady music that we
Yeah.
hear now. And
It's
it's like I get that women were reclaiming our sexuality and all that, but it's like it seems like women's like music has kind of lost a lot of substance.
I
It's
mean,
like
it's
we
like
tried to like
Ratchet.
elevate
Yeah,
ourselves.
Ratchet sells. And Lana Del Rey said this years ago that like in a Nicki Minaj, Doja Cat, who else was she calling out? Way.
Oh, fuck, are
Yeah,
you talking about that shit that got
and
her
that's
canceled during the
yeah, and that shit
pandemic?
got her lost in the sauce because it's like
Mhm.
on one level I get it, and another level we're like, bitch, you just named like all women of color, saying like
Yeah.
that's wrong, or where are you gonna fit in?
It's also a
But
slippery slope there where there's not that many, like, white, like, real talented female
yeah,
musicians out there to compare to.
and
I
I
mean, we
love and I love Lana. Don't get me
Lana's
wrong, but
wonderful.
Lana's wonderful. A couple more songs I want to speak on of the Dessa album, "Bury the Letty." And if we're saying that word wrong, slap us. No, I'm just playing.
Yeah.
Correct us in the comments, please,
I
Dessa.
figured it was
But
lead, but I don't
lead,
know.
yeah, isn't lead Lead?
Yeah, but it might be like
We
a
can't
like
read. No, okay.
we can
Um,
lead.
we can lead. Yeah. Okay. Long Wave is such a good song, banger, and it's so well produced. And then that closeout song, Rothko, who I had to look that up too, was a painter. So like, is like that educational indie hip hop, indie pop,
Educational indie.
folk hip hop,
Folk hop.
folk hop. Yeah. When
It
she
was
comes to,
total folk
hey,
hop.
when she comes to LA, I'm coming to see her. for sure.
Yeah, do
Yeah.
it. Bring your best grandma sweater. Um,
Well played.
yes,
What's your album
let's
this week, Foxy?
so I unfortunately I chose Lil Wayne. The fix before the is it 5? Is VI Roman numeral for
Yeah.
5. The fix
Damn.
before the 5.
I picked it. I
Um,
picked this wholesome like female indie album. You pick Wheezy. I love it. See, that's beatbox for you.
it really is.
Yeah.
So I picked that one because, of course, it was like, oh shit, I haven't seen a Lil Wayne album for a long time. I don't know how long it's actually been, but I haven't noticed one for years.
Yeah.
And I was definitely met with exactly what I expected when I turned it on. It's just like I don't think he's really progressed much as an artist, or he knows what works, so he's not going to progress. But it's just like seriously, it was just like the worst of like 2010 SoundCloud.
Um,
Like it's like the
he's hit the ceiling rap wise. Lyric. I
yeah.
mean, he can lyric. He's still lyrically doing back flips, but that Titty Boy song was that it was hilarious. First of all, it
Yeah,
was
I
like
like how he said, "I smoke cookies and milk, and I love titties." That's what he kept saying. Like,
It's not that I thought it was a good song. I just thought it was fucking funny.
no, it was funny, and I had to pick it because I was like, "Oh shit, it's Titty Boy." We've been talking Titty Boys around here lately, and
Yeah.
Dylan is a Titty Boy. See, they're right on
Yeah.
top of his head, guys.
Mm-mm-mm.
So anyway, so I had to pick that one. So
Actually, your
I
titties are
did.
beneath me on both these screens.
My titties are never beneath you, Dylan. You take it back right now.
I mean, I'm taller than you.
Okay.
Okay.
So ready? Okay. I did Good Morning. I had that old sound, the Titty Boy one, which we just talked about, and then God, No New Bitches was the other one that I reviewed, and it's just all I could just think is it's dated. It's just
Yeah.
dated.
This is so
It's not in
2009.
it's not enjoyable because it's not good. Like it was good back then because it was 2009,
And
2010
looking
and
back
we were
on it,
drunk and 20.
yeah.
Like
And looking back on it, I miss those days where, being the backpack kid, you could still like find all these obscure Lil Wayne songs on Dat Piff and shit, and find all these hard to find Wheezy songs. And then he had all these crazy features, with like Little Brother and Joel Santana and Gucci
right.
Mane, and he had all these awesome ass
Well,
features,
if we're being
and Nicki
honest, I mean,
Minaj. But
I'm gonna definitely
yeah,
pay respect where it's due. Lil Wayne was a big reason why music got to where it's at now. If it
auto
wasn't for
tune,
him,
yeah,
Nicki Minaj,
Drake,
who?
yeah, he brought a lot of
Yeah,
people through the door for sure.
yeah, with the whole do you remember I can make your bed rock when he
Oh yeah,
introduced
that
like
was a hard ass
everybody.
posse cut. It was like a love song
I
posse
remember
cut. Yeah,
seeing Nicki Minaj and be like, "Whoa, what the
yeah,
fuck? I love her.
yeah.
She's a black Barbie. I fucking love this
Oh,
girl.
damn, that song
Love
reminds me of
her."
high school. My God.
Yeah, I was 21 when that shit.
Oh, cool. You could have snugged me some liquor, and I didn't even
Oh yeah,
drink back then.
I've been bringing you MD 2020s in my bosom.
You'd be the type of chick I'd be afraid of in high school.
Oh yeah, well, it's still like that as an
No,
adult too.
all the white kids would have been hanging out with you. I would have just still gone home and played Super Smash.
Oh, I'd be like, "Come here, Dill. Come
Yeah,
here."
I'd be like, "Whoa, she has big boobs. Is she gonna talk to me?"
Yeah, I'd have
Yeah.
talked to you. I'd have been like, "Hey, let's start a podcast and get famous." No,
Damn, and I'd be like,
we'd have
"The only
jumped the gun a
podcast
long.
I've ever listened to is Show Me Your Moves about the
Was that even a thing back then? Were they even
shit."
podcasts?
There were, because I remember I had on my iPod video, I had just downloaded. It was ninth grade. I started listening to Show Me Your Moves, was a podcast all about Super Smash Bros. Brawl, and that was the first podcast I listened to.
That's so fucking fun. There's
Yeah,
a whole
so
podcast
I like
about Mark.
podcasts before they were cool, bitches.
I love that so much.
All right, what is our shared album this
So
week?
Oliver Tree's Alone in a
Alone in the Crowd,
Crowd.
the
I
moment you've
love
all been waiting
Oliver
for.
Tree. He's my favorite. I think that he is the most talented musician in the game right now, hands fucking down, and has been for a
You
couple
know what?
years.
He stole a lot of people's hearts with this. And I think, you know what, as poppy as this album sounds, it's pretty damn good. Because he's still, he's like, he can do mainstream radio and he can also be like weird indie kid at the same time.
I love him, and all of the music videos, he has a music video out for every single song in this album, and they all are like a movie.
Oh, joy. I haven't even watched any. I
Yep.
just listened to the album front
So
to
I
back a
put
couple
3
times.
that 3 got that go in a row together on the Beatbox
Yeah.
playlist. And hey, there it is. Your first reminder for the
Or
week
the
to go check
Beatbox
out the
playlist.
playlist.
It's on YouTube.
Yeah! We're up over
Foxy's
like I
link
think
tree.
we're getting close to like 250 songs on there now that Dylan and I have reviewed in 20 weeks, you
You'll be listening
guys.
to music for days. All thanks to
Yeah,
Beatbox.
all music that has
All
come
new music.
out in this past
Yes.
6 months.
Yeah, but some of my favorite songs off the Oliver Tree album are Star and The Invisible Man. That's by far my favorite one. And then that last track, the bonus one, was just like super fist pumpy. Like I didn't expect I'd like that one that much. But I
I
wish he
love
I kind of wish he had like a high profile feature, like did a song with like Young Gravy or something, or like Puya. But um, I don't
Well,
know what
they're
like
all like
rapper he would go with, or
he's
Tyler,
friends. So he's friends with like all of those like rappers like
Yeah,
Puya and like he's like I consider them probably they're all like part of the same like crews and things like that. But
yeah,
Oliver Tree, he only ever really like collabs with either kind of like weird type musicians with like that gimmicky kind of like funny thing or like just like producers with like EDM and shit like that. I fucking love this man. I have loved him for years now. Hurt when that came out.
yeah.
The first time I ever saw him was on I want to say it was like the Tonight Show. And he was up on the stage and he had fucking stilts on and he had his long ass Jankos that were like huge. And he was like probably like 15 feet up on those stilts.
I think
And
he's gonna be a decade defining artist.
people hate him. People
Yeah,
fucking hate him. And I don't understand it. It's like do they just don't get it, I guess. But his music is not his music is completely different than like these alter egos that he uses with Oliver Tree. It's completely different. It's like if you separate the two things, the music
yeah.
doesn't go with
No, I
the
just like
art that
his
he's
voice. It's just I
presenting.
like the production. It's just like,
It's all
and
fucking
I don't really know that
amazing.
much about him. I just think he's dope. Like,
Well, he's like a persona,
yeah,
so
I'm
it's
going to
a
see him in February with my boy Matt
so
Brown, Space
cool.
Race.
So cool.
To,
Yeah,
shout
if
out Tuna
you
Milk.
watch so he actually did a very good interview with Steve-O on Steve-O's Wild Ride
Nice.
about a month ago. There's a
I just got
great
hip to
Oliver
Steve O's
Tree.
Wild Ride. I watched the one with Violent J.
Yeah, there's a great Oliver Tree interview. You guys should check it out. So my songs that I listened to were With You, One and Only, and Essence featuring Supercomputer, which was my favorite track that I listened to, and then Fairweather Friends, which is also a banger. I just have never heard something that I don't like Oliver Tree.
Yeah,
He has that. There's a couple, and it's like the first listen, oh, I don't like it, and then you listen again, it's like, oh wait, I do like it.
yeah.
So he's my
It grows
favorite
on
by
you. Yeah,
far. Yep.
definitely.
So check him
Um,
out. If you guys haven't treated yourself, please listen to Oliver Tree. I feel like he's the guy, the branch, the branch that can branch into like different genres. You know, you don't
I agree.
necessarily have to like a certain
Totally.
genre to like Oliver Tree.
Totally agree.
And his lyrics are really like deep, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, next single I want to talk about is Niko G4. I Can Tell. You know what? I thought the beat on this song was hard. I didn't get a chance to look up who produced it. But you know what? Also, I feel like this kind of fell flat a little bit because this kind of opens up the conversation, and I wish Dijon Paul from A Day in LA was here sitting with me because this kind of gets back into that all LA rap is starting to sound the same. And not all LA rap is starting to sound the same, but this was just kind of the typical braggadocio. I'm the shit. I got bitches. I got money. And he can in turn say, well, I am the shit and I got bitches. I got money. Okay, cool. But when it comes to listening to music, what are you doing different from the next motherfucker? Is my whole thing, you know?
Yeah.
And you know what? This one hand does not stand out, but I'm not discouraged. Like when Niko G4 drops the project, you know I'm gonna listen to it. Like automatically. That's off the dribble. Roll with the winner. Shout out to them.
Um,
You got
uh,
company?
well, my friend just made dinner, but this is the first time she's been around for beatbox, so I don't know if she knows that we do it live. So she made me a sandwich and was trying to bring it to me, but I'm not ready yet. We got 10 more
We're
minutes.
gonna wait on it.
10
10 more
more
minutes. I got dinner
minutes.
too. We ordered
Um,
Postmates. It's like, I mean, Grubhub or whatever. It's already here.
yeah.
Vigil says,
So
I feel like the newer guys popping in LA rap are all from the IE, which I don't mind, just noticed. IE has heat. IE definitely has heat. It's just like, I think no matter where you're from, you just got to be doing something different. And the thing is,
mhm.
LA will lean a little more gangster, while the IE will lean a little more creative. And it's not to say you ain't gonna find no gangsters out in the IE. You got like artists like Doggy Style, who's a Crip out of San Bernardino, and then it's not to say LA is not gonna be creative. You got plenty of very creative artists who are not from gangs representing LA, like my boys Left Field. Um, but I think that too many people are rapping about how cool they are and how hood they are, and not coming up with like funny songs or interesting songs or just like real love songs. And it's like
So
like that.
don't we have that like whole like it's like the whole clout chasing, like everything is just clout chasing anymore, and we talk about it sometimes about just even like adult work, about how there's just like so
Yeah,
much clout chasing. It's
you
like
know what? I just realized
people just want like
we didn't do a podcaster tip or sex worker tip this week.
we'll throw one out at the
Yeah,
end, just whatever we first think of. So but it's that whole clout chasing era, and it's like, well, we really have like that time, like with like SoundCloud rappers and all of
yeah,
that stuff, kind of to like blame for it, and also the rise of the influencer. So the
right.
music has always been a reflection, like of the times that it's coming out in, and so it's just very much a sign of the times where people are just fucking vapid. They lack depth anymore.
Ruby
And
Monroe, I see you in here, girl. We're gonna have to have a talk. We're gonna have to have a
oh,
talk, girl.
I don't know
We
who
need
you are,
we need to
Ruby.
sit down. You better know who. Ooh, Ruby
I
Monroe is
don't.
that an exceptional corn star from the Bay Area. Everybody follow
Oh,
Ruby Monroe if you don't
woo,
already. Shout out to
love
her.
it.
Nothing but love for
Um,
you, baby.
so yeah, it's just it's people lack depth, people lack heart, and that's what you're gonna get in music. That's what you have to look forward to in a day and age where we live chronically online.
Yes.
It's all smoke and mirrors, it's all instant gratification. So he's setting the tone for how you perceive him, right? Because
Yeah.
it's all about what you put out there to be perceived as, but not actually putting yourself out there for perception, like yucky stuff. So I mean,
Yeah,
it's just
it's the
it's a sign of the
persona thing.
time.
And
It's a
everybody,
sign
my
of the
brother
times.
Mike Larkin has just joined the chat. Everybody needs to follow Larkin92, my podcast brother. Everybody go support his podcast. I've been on it a couple times. He's
What's
been on
his
Thickness Protection
podcast?
Program. On the mic with Mike Larkin.
Oh.
And he also does podcasts about wrestling too. So if
Let's
you're
talk
into
about China. Mike Larkin, do you want to talk about China doll with me and about
yeah, you got
bimboism?
you guys should collab
Let's
for show for
do
show.
it.
Because he interviewed like so many of the porn stars. I mean, so many of the, you know what I mean? Busted.
Don't
He interviewed so
demonetize
many
before
of
we're monetized.
the cornfielders that I had
Like the
interviewed
corn
before. The
farmers.
corn farmers. Shout out to the corn farming
The corn
community.
farmers of America.
Nebutska, Nebraska. Yep.
No. Okay, next.
Okay. Yeah, next.
So my single. Oh wait, I just want to one more thing though. I disagree with you. I liked Nico G4's flow, and I said he's like the weekend but hotter. He's like the weekend, like the 3-day
You can flow.
weekend.
Oh shit.
He's a
Oh
3-day
shit.
weekend. So I
Hey
disagree with you,
Nico,
Dill.
you gotta holler at your girl when you go up to Spokane, bro.
We have a 4-day weekend.
Yeah.
So
What to
yeah,
get a
we
bra thrown at you on stage? Like, right? She's
my
not wearing
bra
a
will
bra.
knock a motherfucker out on stage. It's all
Catcher's mitt.
uh, it's just like the whole entire band just gets scooped up and flown away.
All you hear is like bowling pin sound effects. Yeah.
Oh, that's so fucking funny. Okay, so my single this week was Chromeo, Personal Effects.
And that's
Do
another
you
group that all hey, you
Chromeo?
indie bands, you electronic bands, you disco bands, you're not safe here too. You all sound the same too. Chromeo, you've been sounding the same for the
But
last 15
Chromeo
years. Do
started it
better.
all. Nope. Nope, they don't need to, because what I liked about it as somebody that started listening to Chromeo from the fucking beginning is that they still have that sound that I want from them.
That
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, get the fucking Yes, they'll get the
Yeah.
you know how much dirt I did to Chromeo back in my day? We were doing dirt to
I might need to
Chromeo.
go see Chromeo live. We might need to hit a Chromeo show, but you got to bring your
We
dancing
danced
shoes
the
for
whole
that.
time. Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes, I love that. So on Spotify, when they do my rap every year, my genre that I am like the most in is called dance punk.
dance punk.
Dance punk. So
Interesting. That sounds
I
cool.
like yeah, I guess I mean it's stuff like the moving units or like
Yeah.
Interpol, kind of like the
Hey,
strokes.
to this, I'll tell you this: Chromeo sounds like Chromeo.
I fucking love Chromeo. I fuck with Chromeo.
Yeah.
Dylan and
I
I
want
are
to go
gonna have
back.
to go do some fucking Mario Smash Brothers and fucking get shit bashed out
We're
this
gonna have to settle it in Smash.
yeah,
Okay, we can
cause
Can we play Fancy Footwork by Chromeo to that?
yeah,
Let's do it.
absolutely.
Yeah, I'm gonna out shuffle you. Okay.
My favorite's Needy Girl. I always like that one. You're a needy girl. I can tell when I look in your big brown eyes. I'm
Um.
needy.
Oh, that takes me back. That's another big high school era.
Yeah, High School
Shout out to
Musical.
Chromeo.
So yeah, I hadn't listened to Chromeo in years because they actually did put out an album when I was
Yeah.
like, this doesn't sound like Chromeo, and then I was like, well, they've changed. So I was
Yeah.
happy that I
I think I
listened to
got hip to
this.
them when Mountain Dew was doing Green Label Sound
I don't even
many years
remember
ago.
that. I don't even
Yeah,
remember
Mountain Dew
that.
had their own indie label.
So I've just always known them to be on Fool's Gold, which is also what ASAP Rocky
I
and
could be super duper wrong, but whatever.
you're wrong,
If
Joe.
my memory that's a if my memory serves me correctly, and it may not be serving me correctly. My bad,
That
guys. I'm
the
turning
memory is
31.
not
I'm
it's not
turning
serving.
31 next weekend, so I'm
You're
gonna go
having your
fucking
Baskin
file for
Robbins
so.
birthday.
Yes, I'm gonna go file for Social Security next.
Oh my goodness. Well,
Hey, podcaster tip:
yeah.
come up with shit.
Yeah. Podcaster tip. Just if you have a moment before the day before your podcast, if you have any time, just start working on shit then.
Yeah. No, no, for real. I wanted to say how much of the show is you and how much is the show. You know. So if you're the sportscaster, how much is your personal life? If
It looks
you're
like my shirt is like not even
yeah.
on. Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Okay. So
No, how much of the I just want to know from the other podcasters, and there may not be any watching at this current time, but how much of the show is your topic and how much of it is your personal life? It's going to vary from host to host. It's going to vary from show to show.
can
But
I
I just,
answer that?
yeah, yes, please.
So I do feel like the big reason why I'm able to stay consistent with Beatbox every week and we are here, even when I fucking was sick as hell like 3 weeks ago, we were still here,
Yeah,
is because of the fact, like even on the road, I still get on and do Beatbox because it is like we have the shell of like, okay, this is the show. We hit on these things every week.
yeah,
We start with the mental health, we go into the news, we go into the hip hop history, we go into the music reviews, and we close out with the podcaster and sex worker tip, right?
right.
But the big thing is that the banter is what keeps it going. The stuff is there no matter what, and it doesn't matter how much or how little we do research on the topics. If we know what we're talking about, it's because we have a general idea about it and because it's something that we're interested in. So it's easy to talk about. So I would say a great podcaster tip, even a sex worker tip, is when you're making the things that you're making, when you're making your content, make sure that it's something you feel for, because if you don't feel for it, it's lackluster,
Yeah,
and if you actually feel for what you're doing, you don't have to work that hard on it. It
it's
just comes.
yeah. it
Yeah.
just
Well,
comes.
it's not that easy in my realm.
No comment. Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah. So This is a great segue into the sex worker tip.
Your sex worker tip is let that shit roll off your shoulders. Okay?
Yes.
It's not
Get
that serious.
dirt off your shoulder.
You're your own industry. Listen, the industry is the industry, but everybody's there because of you. You could be a sex worker if you are yourself because you're yourself. People aren't choosing you because you're a blonde in a sea of fucking blondes, okay? And they might like your blonde attributes. They stick around because it's whatever's special about you. So it's not that fucking serious. It is that serious. It's our careers. But come on, like stop caring so much about everybody else. That's it.
There you
That's
go.
it.
That applies
Stop.
to
Fucking
many other things.
stop. Yeah, exactly. If
Yeah.
you're a waitress at Pizza Hut and this bitch over here knows
Pizza
every
Hut has
pizza
waitresses.
on, yeah, that was my favorite waitressing job
Oh yeah,
ever.
back in the day you could eat it there. I missed
You
that
still
shit.
can.
In Washington?
I'm not
Because
sure
in
if
Pizza Hut,
everywhere
you
in
can't even sit
Washington.
down in California. I've never seen. I went. There's a Pizza Hut down the street from the radio station I work at, and like you can't even sit in there.
Sound off in the comments. Can you eat at the Pizza Hut in
Eat
your
at a Pizza
towns
Hut
or
near
near
you.
one?
Because I like
I
pizza places. Like I like pizza parlors where you can like they sit it
Mhm.
down in front of you with the nice thing, and they bring you
Yes.
the pepper flakes and the parmesan,
Yeah.
and you like can get
But
beer
basically
and
what
shit.
I'm saying is any job that you have, if you work at Pizza Hut, you're a server and this chick over here knows the whole menu and she doesn't ever have to write anything down. And people like her because of that. Well, you have great fucking teeth and your smile is wonderful and that's why people like to come to your tables.
Yeah,
Everybody is unique. We're all different. We are all, there are similarities between everybody. We can always find something to like bond with people on, but at the end of the day, in this industry, you're what makes your hustle. So, I see on Reddit a lot of times like the cam girls, oh, it's so dead, it's so dead, it's so dead. It's like, yeah, it is dead all the time, different days for different fucking people.
different strokes for different folks, y'all.
It's just you just adapt. So yeah. And here we are, exactly 60 minutes and 6 seconds into the live, and I feel like we're done.
Yeah. All right. Um, my bad. I just got a couple funny text messages.
Ah!
Oops.
I
All right.
don't know why I said it like that. Bah!
Because you want to
Ah!
be you want to be a sheep. You want to be led.
Sorry.
Save that for the cam tonight. Get
I
back to
will be
work.
I'll be on webcam tonight if anybody wants to come see me.
All right.
Come see me. Come
Hey.
on me. Bye.
All right. Good. Hey. And on that note, thanks for tuning in to Beatbox. Peace, love, palm. We want thickness.
We want thickness. We've got it.
God, I'm getting so many weird messages and comments. Everybody just shut the fuck up. Except for Foxy, because I love her. All right, bye.
Oh, bye. I'm the best.